Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PIPCAST, your Pip-Boy supported podcast. This episode is sponsored by Hype, the official fuel of the Fallout 4 launch. My name is Tony Moe, and I'm joined by my co-host Kato Genesis, as well as this week's special guest, Camel of Camelworks. Camelworks, welcome aboard, man. Stoked to have you here. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your channel, and I'd like you to go into detail, actually, as to why you enjoy making such detailed guides. I feel like there has to be some sort of passion behind going to that level of depth within some of those guides that you do.
All right, well, first off, thank you very much for having me on. It's an absolute pleasure. All right. Well, I think the in-depth guides originated when I was looking for a video on all of Skyrim's unique swords, which I couldn't find. And it got to a point where I'm like, well, if no one else is going to do this, I'm going to do it. So I did. That's how it started. That's literally how it started. I was angry that no one had done it.
A man after my own heart.
Fine,
That's what this sounds like right now.
Really?
You are incredible. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, thank you very much.
Incredible at what you do.
I'm glad I can help people play video games to some extent.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like that's when you hear about that big entrepreneur, that guy, this big success story with this startup company. It's like it totally starts like that way. It's like, well, I did this for a living and I found that I really needed this, but no one was doing that, so I decided I would just do it. So that's pretty awesome.
Or you see something
I've always done stuff like that. Like instead of working at this local supermarket when I was a teenager, I went and bought secondhand clothes from charity shops. And then sold them for 20 times the price. So yeah, I've always had that entrepreneurial touch.
Businessman since day one, I see. That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, since we have similar content, that's part of the reason why I wanted to have you on here in the first place, which was really cool that you were happy to join us, which is an awesome thing. Because it's a wonderful thing being a wasteland, or in some cases was it Nord advisor?
That's me. Yes.
Dragon advisor, I guess. Something like that.
Well, I'm sure you guys are both going to be excessively busy with Fallout 4, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that goes.
What's Fallout 4?
What is this 4 of Fallout you speak of?
Oh man, yeah, we'll be pretty busy. Yes.
Yeah. Actually,
one of my family members is getting a shoulder operation on the day of release.
Oh jeez.
So dude, every I think they can't lift over 500 grams. So literally, I'll have to do all of their stuff for them. The day of release. I'm like, I'm glad you timed this perfectly for Fallout 4's release.
You gotta get yourself just want to get one of those portable screens so you can stream Fallout to it, have it strapped to your chest, kind of like you're in a marching band. Just get a controller to play it with instead of the mouse and keyboard, and then you're good to go.
You can use it on the when I go to the bathroom.
There we go.
It's new stuff. New stuff. One of the things that, interestingly enough, that I was actually starting to think doing is because I found myself, whenever there's any sort of big game that I know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take time off work. I'm going to actually spend 2 days. I'm just going to get it all away so I can cover it, so I can do my first impressions. I can get 10, 12 hours into the game and feel comfortable. Is that I've started pre-making meals for that. Usually I never cook ahead, but I'll literally make food and stuff. So I'm good to go. I don't have to cook that day. I just warm it up, and it's and I still end up getting a full meal rather than just, eating a Kit Kat or something and starving to death.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Well, I take the second option. I just don't eat. I'm if I go and make food, that's going to take 5 minutes, and that's 5 minutes that I'm not working. So
that's 5 minutes of inventory management.
Yeah, exactly.
Out the window.
All right, well, let's go ahead and kick it off with the news for today. There's actually a lot of stuff. This is one of those days where I think I started off with 3 topics, and by the time recording day came around, there was 6. So first and foremost, Bethesda, funding their games through the selling of merch to you, I think is literally how they've decided that they're going to fund everything Fallout in the future, is that they're just going to sell us absolute tons of merch. Honestly,
so much.
When was the last time a game released with this much merch behind it? I can't think of a time. There's collector's editions, which we have for Fallout, but now Bethesda's just we've got t-shirts, and now we have a whole new set of 7-inch bobbleheads. So if you guys haven't seen this, Bethesda is actually selling 4 new 7-inch the bobbleheads. There's what do we got? We've got one called Crossed Arms. I have no idea what that means. There's Perception. Like honestly, they just have crossed arms. Like their other ones are all focused on perks, and then this one's just like crossed arms. I thought that was kind of weird, but
okay,
interesting.
Yeah, it's just odd. They're $20 a piece though. I don't know if you guys have actually seen them, like if you've seen any of the pictures of them, but
my one question is, do their heads bobble?
I believe they do. They're not rigid bobbleheads. They're the bobbly bobbleheads. You know, I was comparing them though. I was like looking at them, like I know they're 7-inch, so their proportions are bigger, but I still have my Vault-Tec one from the Fallout 3 Collector's Edition that came in the lunchbox, and like I just don't like the way the ones look. I don't know if it's because the website they put it on like a white background and it looks all washed out, but I don't know. I just like wasn't like super into them. At the same time,
is the face the same? The face looks a bit.
Yeah, it's different. Like it doesn't have like the same sort of jawline design as like the one. It feels more like it kind of to me. Like I don't want to say this, but it does. It looks like a cheap bobblehead to me. Like I was a little bit disappointed with like just the way that the head was styled. I don't know what it was, but that was just good because I didn't need to spend $20 on that.
Maybe it's since they updated the Vault Boy design to be fully animated.
You know, that's what I was thinking.
Constantly.
It was just
right.
I mean, that's something we have to look forward to is just the outrageous amount of Vault Boy animations.
Oh, yeah. That looks really cool. There's so many little details in it, man. Like when he's on the Pip-Boy and the Vault Boy's like doing things like skipping and things like that. Mm-hmm. There's so many tiny details that they put in, man, and it's so impressive and it makes such a difference. Everyone's like, dude, look how big the land is. I'm like, dude, the Vault Boy's moving. It's insane.
It's totally the small stuff like that, you know, like when we talk about all the time that you're going to spend like inventory management. It's like when you make that stuff interesting, it makes that time go by faster. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not just scrolling through like a spreadsheet of like, here's your inventory, you know, instead you have like all this animation going on. The fact that the Pip-Boy now doesn't like take up the entire screen, you're like still in the world, you know, when you pull it up. I like that idea as well. You know, you feel like you're very much still part of the world. You didn't just like open another menu, you know?
Yep.
It's cool.
So totally dig that. But yeah, if you want to spend another $20 and further fund the development of future Bethesda games, there you go. Buy all 7 or all 4 of them or all 5 of them, however many there are. I think there's 5 in total, actually. Outside of that, we got a short little teaser video for the Big Leagues perk. So I think this is the first one we've seen, right? Like of an actual perk video sort of demonstrating it. And if you guys haven't seen it, click the link in the description below. Basically, it's just a dude dressed up as a baseball player cracking people's faces off to mass applause for about 14 seconds.
Oh yes.
It's fantastic.
It does look pretty good.
So
I'm not gonna,
that solidifies my I guess discussion on the animations of melee impacts, because we got a better look at it with that little clip. And I still intend fully on building a melee character, because that's what I usually do, melee unarmed. So I'm really looking forward to all kinds of crazy physics type things that look a lot better in Fallout 4 than it ever has. So
yeah, I mean it definitely just looks so satisfying. Like melee for me in all the other Fallout games,
so satisfying.
Yeah, you know, like when he swings and I hope that's like legitimately the sound effect that you get if you land a critical. Like I want to hear a crowd cheer every time I crack somebody's head off with a baseball bat.
Well, imagine this. Stepping up to a Deathclaw in power armor with a fully tricked out power fist and just punching him in the face.
Oh my god, dude!
And its head flies off.
Like imagine if you could then use his head to damage other enemies. Like if it flew off like a projectile.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh my god, the possibilities are endless.
Power fist in right hand, grenade in the other, and then punching him in the face, shoving a grenade in his mouth. That'd be great.
Have you been watching the?
That'd be a little complex, but
gameplay. What have you been watching?
It is sounding a bit like Doom, yes. I think it's the id working with them, I guess, maybe some of it oozed over. One of the id guys was in the office helping them with the first-person shooter controls, and he was like, there's clearly not enough gore going on in this situation. What if? Let me just pitch this to you. And
let's add more. We need about 12 more gallons. 12 more gallons. Let's do this.
It's true. All right, I like the new blood animation.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah,
it's not nearly as cartoony looking as it was either.
No, it's not. But the goofiness of hitting someone's head off with a baseball bat is still. It's good because it kind of removes you from the,
It's nice.
the,
It's charming.
the horrific side of hitting someone's head off with a baseball bat.
That's why there's an applause.
Yeah, I think that's something only video games and very select films can capture. Like, like using the what's the perk where the bloody mess perk.
Yeah.
Like that was one of my favorite perks in that game because it was so completely absurd. It's like I blew his head off and then for no reason his leg exploded like it was a knee-jerk reaction,
That's the heart and soul of my videos.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Especially with the Power Fist ones.
Oh,
crap,
mate,
dude.
that was
And the Big
punch
Guns
to the chin
one
and then,
too.
like knee flies away.
The Big Guns video had plenty of that.
So good.
Yes.
It looked like you were aiming at somebody behind someone else, and the bullet trail just happened to kill the first person and then the second person. They both exploded simultaneously.
People like running in front of the line of fire. It's just like chicken giblets flying everywhere.
Awesome.
That's going to be interesting, actually, when we talk about melee. Is like, are there going to be any melee weapons that are big enough that you can actually deal damage to multiple enemies with one swing?
Well, they did it in Skyrim.
I was gonna say Skyrim, did that, so I'd hope that would carry over because that'd be
because we can tell that a lot of things, like especially like extra attention towards animation in general, has carried over from Skyrim. So
it's like as much as I want to do melee now, just because it looks so cool, it's like I'm still not like sold. I still like a part of me just wants to be like my typical scout type character that's all scavengey and like stays back and shoots one guy in the leg, waits till 3 more guys show up and then kills them all or something like that. But if I could have like a giant wasteland sword made out of like bits and pieces of car parts, like and be like a paladin with a sword, that would be super cool. I'd be all over that then.
Paladin with shish kebab.
I always play the sniper guy. I get like really nervous and scared. I'm like, oh my god, there's some stuff over there. I like shoot stuff. I always got Boone as a follower in Fallout New Vegas, and we would both just snipe everything.
Good choice.
Kilometers away.
Yeah, that was. There's something so satisfying about it in that game, especially when you do it inside of that. It's like, I don't know, because you see them all panicking, like one of them dies, and you're just like, dude, I'm so far away, you're never gonna know where I am by the time I kill all you guys.
That's what I've been doing on the Let's Play most of the time.
Where it fell down was inside, like, what was that one where you found the All Americans, the Vault 34?
Yes.
It's basically like a massive vault filled with ghouls. So sniping doesn't really work that well when the whole thing's built around like staying very far away from enemies and you turn a corner and there's like 30 ghouls rush you. It falls down instantly.
Yeah, I always struggled with. That's probably why I didn't use like any explosives or anything because my character was so spec for that kind of stuff. The only time I think that I was able to start handling those situations was Operation Anchorage, and I know I've talked about this like a million times on the PIPCAST. Was whenever as soon as I got the stealth armor and the sword, I was just like, all of that stealth finally paid off. I have this, sword that makes people freeze and die. It was like it finally worked out for me in the end.
Yeah,
I'm glad it worked out.
So much fun stuff.
All right, so man, I should have grouped this all into one because literally it's more Bethesda selling his stuff.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think there's a whole entire separate discussion that we could now have about like how should developers fund DLC and future development for their game rather than selling as piecemeal game releases like Destiny kind of did, tearing down half the game then selling parts of it. Just sell tons of merch and we'll totally buy it and then you'll be good to go. So they've actually teamed up with Jones, which is a sort of small grassroots soda company, craft soda company here in the States, and they're making Nuka-Cola Quantum Soda. It's only going to be available at Target, which I find very odd because Target.
Yeah.
But it's basically their berry lemonade flavor that has been relabeled. The bottle is like the same if you guys go ahead and take a look at the link. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have no problem with them selling stuff like this. I just, for some reason, when, it was funny because last week we had Maddie on and we're talking about like, hey, they need to make a soda. And then 2 days later, this shows up. But I would have liked to actually see like a unique bottle. Like I'd rather pay $10 for a bottle of soda and have it be the actual Nuka-Cola Quantum, bottle than have it just be a Jones soda bottle with the phony label on it.
Yeah, I don't even think we have Jones soda in Australia, so I don't think I'm going to see it regardless.
Yeah, it's funny because so we had the Carlsberg Brewery only in the UK is doing the beer. So now you've got the soda here. So, maybe they could do Vegemite over there for you guys.
Oh
Fallout
my
Vegemite.
god! By the way, Vegemite is delicious.
I know. I've tried it like so many times, but
Have
I
you?
think I need to get the legitimate like Australian stuff because I can't do the stuff that we have
Hang on,
here.
wait, it depends how you ate it. How did you eat it? Did you just like spoon it into your mouth?
No. I had it on like a big like cracker, like a big large saltine cracker, which probably didn't help because it's already salty enough. But
How big? The way you emphasized big, you're like, it's a big cracker.
well,
How
it
big
was. It was like one of these big like oversized
inches?
saltine.
Was it like a
crackers.
pilot cracker you were eating it off of, or what?
No,
Like a
it's
baguette?
basically it's like a 3-inch by 3-inch cracker. There you go. It's like a larger saltine.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So like
It wasn't terrible. I just
Have, like, if you put it on toast with a little bit of butter, you'll be set.
I'll have to give it another try. I'll do it. I'll do it in your honor, Cam. I'll get it,
right.
and that'll be my snack for Fallout 4's launch. I'll have some Vegemite, some toast and butter, and hopefully it'll be.
Oh
it'll be-
man, when Fallout New Vegas came out, I bought all this sarsaparilla, and because I was a dope, I spilt it instantly all over my keyboard. I'm not going to be drinking or eating near the computer anymore.
that's a good choice. That's a good
It's,
choice. If it just takes that one moment where you're just like, no, I shouldn't do this ever.
It was the grimmest thing. It was like a brand new Razer Black Widow, like $130 keyboard. Just oh man, sarsaparilla everywhere.
Ugh. All right, so we actually missed this. This I probably should cover this like 2 weeks ago, but they did another special video and we saw Luck. I don't know if you guys actually saw the video. I did just a quick watch on it, and this was something I was meaning to look up and I completely forgot, so I'm going to refer to you on this, Kato. But in the past, has Luck influenced the way, like the amount of loot or the type of loot that you might get out of any specific chest?
Not in particular. Luck mainly influences critical chance.
Okay, so now
and related perks. So
okay, yeah. So now we're seeing it actually influence critical chance, and also when you go to loot containers, you have a better chance of finding good stuff. So
that's a pretty good deal.
which makes sense. I mean, that's kind of what Luck should be. In the past,
They
I
may
totally
also
just-
be referring to perks. So
yeah,
because you got the attributes and then ranked perk system. So
cool.
because they were showing the mysterious stranger in there too.
Yeah, exactly. He shows up as well. Better chance of him showing up, and then the guy gets completely ran over by red roaches.
Yep.
I always love how they have the dude
Right.
like completely die in some terrible, gruesome manner at the end. It's like, who killed
That's
Kenny
my favorite.
except the Vault Boy?
Needs more melee.
He's from it.
I think he had it pretty easy, the Luck video, didn't he? In most
Well,
of
it's
the
like-
videos, he gets destroyed. Like,
Oh, this time he got ran over by
absolutely
like 500,000 rad
I think
roaches.
he got crushed by a Brahmin too.
Yeah, he hasn't had a good day, man. It's like,
Yeah.
he hasn't had a
No
good
one-
week.
No wonder his face looks different. He's had reconstructive surgery on the top of it.
Explains it all. He's not even the same man anymore. He's just bits and pieces of what he once was. All right, so this was actually something that came up last minute, but basically Bethesda did an awesome post on the music in Fallout 4. You guys should definitely check out the link. There's some cool stuff in there. We've got some news as to who's actually doing the music. Einon Zur, who has been doing the music since Tactics, is back again. He he's doing the Fallout 4 theme. And they also have on Wonder Woman, interestingly, recorded an original soundtrack for them. I guess there's just, overall their focus
Wonder
this time
Woman.
around is that they want,
Yeah. Let me.
they just want to have more music in the game. They want it to be like a bigger part of the experience. And I think that's awesome because we, Kato, you and I, the last couple episodes, we've like nonstop been expressing concern for like, how are they going to do the radio stations? What's going to happen with that? So this, I
It's
think
Linda
just-
Carter, by the way.
Yes, Linda Carter.
Yes.
I'm terrible at remembering names of
That's
celebrities
all right.
that I
That's all right.
don't know the name of in the first place until today.
Yeah.
You like said Linda Carter, and I was like, who? And then 2 seconds later, you're like Wonder Woman. I'm like, oh, I still don't really know who that is because I barely watched that show as a kid, but that's awesome.
If you guys go to the link, you'll see a right at the very bottom of the article is a song called "Good Neighbor" by Linda Carter. It's an original designed for Fallout 4 and meant to be in some sort of jazz bar, CD pub type thing.
Yeah, she totally killed it, man. Like, it's super good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like instantly added it to my SoundCloud list of like Fallout hype music. So, good job with
Fallout
yeah.
hype music.
Yeah, I have like I'm so obsessed with like music from the 20s. Like even before Fallout, I was like utterly hooked on stuff. You know, like a lot of the music that ended up in Fallout. So it's like it's totally my jam.
I actually got hooked on that kind of music from Fallout.
I think
really
that's
cool, man.
That's one of my favorite thing about about games in general. It's like do such a good job of introducing people to to different music. Like Guitar Hero did it, but Grand Theft Auto's been doing it forever. And obviously Fallout's done it recently. With, Fallout, all of the games have done such a good job of introducing people to an era of music that I think most people in our generation would be like, what? I'm not listening to Bing Crosby. I'm not listening to Skeeter Davis. But
well, yeah,
then
dude. Like the first time I put on my radio on my Pip-Boy, I was like, what the hell is this? It's so good. Why have I heard this stuff before?
So
because you just don't get exposed to it, man.
Yeah.
It's not on the radio anymore. And then it just makes it that much more special when you get to feel it in a setting like that. And I always talk, it's super corny, but like the fact that I can listen to 1920s music like that now, that music of that era, and have nostalgia, for a time period that I was never a part of. It's like, well, I was in Fallout. Like I was there.
Yeah, it's really.
I
was in the time split of that era.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. So, more awesome music coming to Fallout. Basically, the thing you need to know from that entire article is that there is 3 times as much music, ambient music included, in Fallout 4 than there was in Fallout 3. They really wanted a big emphasis on making sure that there are a lot of those moments in the game outside of the music you hear on the radio from your Pip-Boy that, just kind of cue up the epicness. Like, part in the story, something happens, boom, there's music, continuing to use it as a cue for the action and the different things that happen throughout the course of the game. Something that they've done, very well in 3 and in New Vegas, I think. So looking forward to that. I feel like I want to do like a completely separate review just for the music on Fallout 4 when it comes out, because it's so important, I think, in Fallout games.
So does that mean they're approaching the soundtrack with more of like a movie soundtrack thing, with songs specifically for specific parts of the storyline?
They don't really go into detail. I don't think they still. I don't know that they. I mean, I imagine like they'll probably still keep it in game. Like I don't think they want to do anything like just have music playing for no reason. But I imagine if you're going to a fight and someone happens to have a radio or there's a jukebox in the area, it'll start playing a certain song. It looks like they're trying to keep it like in the world very well. They don't want to just like some games just have music queue up for no reason, which works sometimes. It's okay, nothing wrong with that. Killing Floor 2, I think, does it fantastic. Like you kill somebody and end a match and it's like heavy metal all of a sudden. You're like, who's playing music? I don't care. It's awesome. Let's go give some more zombies. All right, so last thing, they actually I didn't realize how long this has been out, but there is in fact a digital deluxe edition for Fallout 4 now. You can grab it on the console, on Steam, wherever you're going to be picking up your copy of Fallout, digitally. This is a digital deluxe edition. Basically, it just gives you the season pass thrown in there. There are no savings, though, because regularly in the States anyways, it's $59.99 for the game. The digital deluxe is $89.99, and the season pass is $40. So you're not saving any money by doing it, but if you know you're going to buy the season pass, it's there, if you want to buy it early.
Really? What the? I swear I bought the season pass and it was maybe it was $30? But I feel like I paid more than, what was it, $59 for the game?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I don't know like how the conversion is for you over there. I'm not sure like what the price gap is right now.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, I don't even know if I pay in US dollars or Australian dollars on Steam. That's that's a first world problem. But yeah, I feel like I paid that much money entirely, but like I feel like I paid more for the game and less for the DLC pass. So I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, like it's so there's so much stuff going on right now. I think especially internationally with like VATs going on in the UK now. There's like taxes being paid. Like everything's just so it's all ass backwards. Is what it's like.
Yeah,
we're so diverse and like split up, and then it's like gaming communities are just like all across the world. It's like, and then you get together and you talk and you realize like, wow, this makes no sense. Like I've got a couple friends in Canada who. Like, honestly, they're paying, like, if we convert it to the US dollar, because their money is worth so little right now, they're paying, like, $80 a game. Like, in, like, $30 more than I am, in their money, even. It's not like it translates and they're paying the same amount. They're legitimately paying, like, $30 more than I am for the same games.
That's ridiculous.
Like, it's so bad up there right now with all the conversion and stuff going on. But that's,
yeah. I'm pretty sure America or the US gets it, like pretty much gets everything a bit cheaper than everywhere else because most of the stuff's made in the US.
Yeah, exactly. It has a lot to do with how they like ship it out and how they have to deal with the pricing. I know there was a big thing on this. Microsoft was talking about how they have to handle the pricing when they start going like national, and it's something they can't even really like. They can't do anything about it. Like they can't like if they wanted to, like they'd have to price it super cheap here so the conversion worked out right. Like it's just a bunch of political crap. So, anyways, that does it for the news. Let's go ahead and actually.
I wanted to mention something too. If people hear me hacking and coughing in the background, I apologize. I'm getting over a cold and I'm coughing up phlegm. So
who did you kiss, Kato?
I wish it was a cool story like that. No, I just caught a bug. It was and it tastes like snot.
It's that time of year. Oh, I caught a bug and it tastes
yummy, yummy.
And it's lasted for about a week, so you know.
All right, so discussion for today. Just a couple things we want to talk about. A lot of it to do with the recent events that have happened with Fallout leaks. But first, I just wanted to talk a little about character builds for day one. I think we all kind of have in our minds at least a direction that we want to go.
Yeah,
and for those of you guys, yeah, I was gonna say I think I have an idea now, but I think we all know at the end of the day it's all probably gonna change completely when the game comes out. But for those of you guys who are out there who are looking just to mess around with a little bit, there's some Fallout fans who have made an awesome little website. I'll have a link down in the description below. Basically, vault111.com gives you the opportunity to look at a list of the perks. None of it's confirmed yet, but give you a general idea of like what perks you're going to have unlocked, you're going to have access to, depending on the stats that you put into your special. It's just a cool little fan thing. Again, nothing's 100% there, but if you're looking to just mess around, you know, again, it's moving to midnight release. Like, what am I going to do for the next hour? You can roll on over there and check it out. But in general, yeah, one of you guys, Camel, if you want to go first, you know, do you have any ideas at least of where you want to take your character?
Definitely, I definitely want to get the, is it strong back? The carrying perk.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm a massive hoarder. Even like in Fallout 3 in New Vegas where it didn't have this massive crafting system.
Oh, New Vegas was the worst.
Dude, I still hoarded everything. I carried, dude, except for like plates and forks. Everything else I carried that. I always had max like carrying capacity. So I'm definitely going like, especially with the new crafting system, I'm going to be carrying like 1,000 times more stuff. So I'm definitely going a lot of strength. A lot of strength in.
Yeah. Well, for what the stuff Tony and I are planning, like we have to, you know, get to the point of just sweeping entire rooms. I mean, that's how I'm going to do it anyway.
Dude. Everything. I'm going to take everything.
Take everything, leave nothing for anyone else.
I'm going to be over encumbered when I leave Vault 111. Like
everyone's going to want to live in our settlements and nowhere else. That's how it's going to be.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of always had that same problem, but me, it was like, I would get really emotionally attached to things in the game. Like, I'm terrible because I'm kind of like, I have like that role-playing mindset. So when I left, like, you know, Vault 101 and Vault 3, I was like, well, I have to take the BB gun and the pellets. Not because I'm actually going to shoot anyone with them because this thing isn't going to do anything, but because my dad gave it to me. Like, come on, man. Like, I got to put this in my house eventually and hold on to it. It's like,
really?
So
I think I got angry at the BB gun because it sucked. I was like, piece of shit. Just dropped it.
Like, I still had, like, you know, the jacket that what's his name gives you, the dude from the Tunnel Snakes. I, like, held onto that, and I, like, put it in my house and stuff, and had it, like, laying on the one table, like, all decorated, like, oh, yeah, you know, this is that jacket this dude gave me after I saved his mom. Yeah. He's a dick to me, you know, our entire life, but I saved his mom because I'm a cool guy like that, you know?
You saved his mom? Oh, you're a little softy. I was like,
I am, because I totally like, beat the crap out of it. You know, it was like a dick every time. But
I saved her, but then I killed them both myself.
You got him in a room. You were like, okay, cool. I saved your mom. Now you know what it feels like to have credit.
God,
that's so cool. Took it to a next level.
Oh yes. So what do you think of attributes wise, Camel? Because there's quite a few dramatic changes with the attributes now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going
Intelligence is a dump stat now.
Man, it's gonna be one of those things where I spend all of the points and then, like, I've only got 20% of what I wanted. It's like, I don't know. I'll probably just go 4 in everything. I don't think there's any perks that I need right off the bat
Yeah.
that are like past 4 points in a specific attribute.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, we don't really know how it's going to play out, so I don't want to spend heaps of points in one thing and then realize I need X amount of points in something else. So I kind of want to go just level it out, even Steven.
Yeah. That's a good choice. Good choice.
What about you guys? Have you thought more about it?
Well, I've looked at it a little bit since Tony sent the link. Like I didn't play around with it yet until today. So, but they have the accurate descriptions from the video or the trailer. So, me personally, 7262263.
7.
So 7 strength,
7 in strength.
7
Jesus.
strength, 6 endurance, and 6 agility.
Do you want to explain that a bit? Because I'm not that familiar with the perks.
and also 2 intelligence, which a lot of people will question until because the intelligence is a measure of your overall mental acuity. It affects the number of experience points earned. So that's just basically like
the speed that you like level up. Right?
Yeah, that's basically just the speed you level up, and it's something you're going to acquire anyway throughout the game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Excuse me. But they also mentioned that there was no level cap, so I don't know what direction to go really with intelligence. But of course, charisma is still somewhat of a dumb stat to me. But I don't know how much dialogue is going to play a part in the game. A lot, like we said, like a lot of the stuff we don't know until we get our hands on it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember. I think Mr. Matty Plays said he wants to put points in intelligence because he doesn't want to be blocked off from dialogue options.
Yeah,
that could lead to like quest lines or companions or something like that.
I don't know. I kind of want to see if they built it for an idiot character. I want to see if there's a dunce choice in a lot of the dialogue. I think it would be more fun. I mean, it's in Fallout 2, like if you played a really just dumb as a rock character, you would actually get certain advantages that other players wouldn't because you were so dumb.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, they didn't have that in.
You could become a citizen of Vault City by being so dumb. Oh. It had 2 polar opposite requirements. Either your stats had to be very, very high, or you had to be a freaking idiot, and you would become a citizen of Vault City.
Wow, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
I'd hope to see a lot of the mechanics. I mean, you go back because it's always that instance when you look at the old Fallout games. There are a lot of components like in the older Fallout games that ended up getting dropped off for the sake of whatever, just the way they changed the game and stuff like that. But it's like, it seems like some of those elements are already coming back. I'd hope to see stuff like that in 4. Yeah. I think that'd be super cool, I think in general, it's like when you look at the perk chart, even though I know not all of it's 100% confirmed, it makes it like incredibly difficult to decide because there's like random perks all over the chart that I'm like, oh wow, dude, like that sounds like cool. I like for charisma, like I really do like the idea of having like, the attack dog and like the animal friend perk, like, those possibly could be related to something that I would like in my character build. Like I'm totally thinking like the sort of Lone Ranger rifleman style build character, but like with my trusty attack dog. So like all sniper, and then when I need to get in close, like using dog meat like all the time is like my backup plan in close quarter situations. Like I feel like building a character around that's kind of gonna be my mentality. I've always kind of worked that way with Fallout. It's like I'll pick like a sort of a role playing sort of character. Like, okay, here's the character I want to play from a role playing perspective. Now what perks and paths can I take to try and like fill that all out? And some of it, of course, like we said, gets changed by actually playing the game and realizing, well, it turns out that the dog's pretty good on his own already. I don't really need any extra perks, to benefit it. I can make it work like the way it is. So,
what do you guys think about that? Is it the Vans perk? Is that what it's called?
The Vans?
Have you seen that? Yeah, I can't remember which one it's in. I'm pretty sure it's called Vans. It's basically, do you remember the spell? I think it's clairvoyance from Skyrim.
Okay, yeah. Or you could like have an actual path.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's like that. Like if you get lost and you're not sure where you're meant to go.
That would be in perception probably then.
Is that what it is? I don't know. Is
I
someone
feel like
looking
it
at the
would be.
chart now?
I mean, that would make sense.
Well, there's I mean, I see detection and
Yeah,
resonance.
it's got that. It's what is it? Tier 7? Yeah, tier 7.
Tier 7.
It's got a like a green glow in the dude's chest, and then a little spirally aura type thing coming out of him. So that kind of makes sense.
Hang on, I'm pretty.
It's like I like the idea of that perk, but a part of me just hopes that like the map inside of Fallout 4 is actually good, unlike it's been in Skyrim and in Fallout 3, where it's like reading the map was like an absolute nightmare to like figuring out like how do I actually get places.
The local map, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, you know, it's just it never like I was able to like deal with it and I like made it around it, but like you really saw how bad it actually was when you talk to like your friends or something that don't really play, you know, like haven't been playing RPGs since they were like 5 years old. So for them, it's just like they don't have that sense of like, you know, what is the right direction. They're just kind of like, well, I should be able to just go straight this way, and it's like, no, that's a mountain. Like in the, you know, the map never really like did a good job of telling you that. So I mean, I hope that's a thing, but at the same time, you know, if they did sort that all out, that perk could be something entirely different. That's like, you know, finding hidden passageways and
having terrible flashbacks.
Secret
Of what?
secret rooms, getting lost in Skyrim in the mountains, and
Making the Dead Money guide.
Oh man, yeah, I remember. When
You know.
wait, how am I in here? What room do I need to go to?
The DLC Easter eggs for Fallout New Vegas.
The-
I had to.
I covered all Dean's stashes as well as the uniques.
Dude, I
and,
watched that. I watched that, and I was just
yeah.
like, I was mourning for you.
The bane of my existence is freaking interior maps, man.
It was bad.
Outside. This was outside, mind you. Interior maps outside.
Yeah, that was a weird decision. I remember enjoying Dead Mummy, but I also remember putting it down for a week because I was stuck in the exact same room for like 6+ hours trying to figure out how the hell I got to the next area.
Yeah.
All right, let's mentally forget about that. So.
I love the DLC. I just didn't like trying to explain where all these stashes were.
Yeah, I think that was, you know, things happen,
Dude,
I guess.
Dude, just trying to find them playing is hard enough, let alone like clearly explaining to viewers where they are.
Yep.
That's good on you, man. That's a feat of strength doing that.
You need like virtual reality for that, so you can be like in the room and say, just give me your controller. I'm gonna solve this for you.
I tried, and it seemed to do the trick for a lot of people.
So, if you guys have been considering your own sort of, character builds out there, you'd like to share them with us, kind of just get a discussion going down in the comments about the type of character that you're at least interested in playing. Of course, we know that's probably going to change for a lot of us, but I think we all have a sort of vague direction as to what we want to do with Fallout 4. Definitely share it with us down in the comments section below. And speaking of the community and communities, that is our next topic of discussion.
Oh, wait, I wanted to mention something too.
What's up?
If you want to do a melee explosives build, you're going to have to cross over between strength and perception, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was, like, I don't know, like, it makes you wonder, like, how...
It's got demolitions expert in perception, which is...
That's what I was going to say, how far along this skill tree is, because some of the stuff is, like, really weird, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, some of the stuff, like, crosses over hardcore, and I'm like, wait a second.
Demolition
like,
should be in endurance. That's just how I feel about it, though. Anyway, go on.
It's pretty
Let's talk about
interesting.
The nonsense that's going on in the communities right now.
What are you talking about?
I mean, what spoilers? I don't
God.
know what that means.
Okay, so there's no denying that Fallout has a community, and I think whenever a game has any sort of a following, that's a good thing. For me, it's like, I think maybe I'm one of those rare cases, like, because people like assume that I spend all of my time on the internet, which I do, but I'm not one of those people who goes into like, I'm not like on Reddit for 6.5 hours a day. I'm not on Tumblr. I'm not on like the Fallout forums. I'm not reading all these comments. I'm just like online playing games and making videos. So it's like, I don't ever know about any of this stuff. To me, it's just like, well, the game has a really good following. People make a lot of cool fan art. There's a lot of fan videos, and that's all I really.
Oh, that's the one I'm looking at spoilers.
Yeah, well,
we're starting with the community topic, or
yeah, I guess it all kind of ties in at the end of the day.
Okay.
So. So yeah, for me, it's like, like I don't see any of like, the dark side of the community. You always see those like weird polls and stuff like on the Fallout, like Google Plus thing is like, oh, do you think the Fallout community sucks or is it like really good? And I'm just like, well, why are you even asking these questions? Like, what weird like place are you in your life that you're sitting at your computer thinking about Fallout and then considering whether or not the community
somebody demands to know Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, go.
I know, it's like,
and that sparks the worst type of argument I've ever seen.
I think
the internet is a strange place.
Yeah. There's always going to be people, I think, that exist like that, and maybe one day those people will evolve and they'll grow up and they won't be like that anymore. But there will always be people to fill in their spot, behind them. Yep. So I think it's just like, I think we just need to recognize like the Fallout community is good. Like there's nothing to say about it. If a game has any community at all, in my opinion, that's a good thing. That means that there is a group of people who, despite their differences within the community, they all care about one thing very much, and that is Fallout. So,
despite their opinions, the O word, they all love the same thing.
I think one of the biggest factors in that as well is Bethesda has never betrayed the community's trust. Some games that have massive followings will rush a game and release it, and it's like the Assassin's Glitch Simulator.
Yeah. I like that.
It kind of makes the community crumble a bit when the developers release a game that's not finished, and it's like, this thing we all were united by loving is not good. We love fruit and all the fruit's off. It's like,
Yeah, I think Ubisoft, they also kind of screwed themselves in that one, because I think as a developer they didn't understand. And it's also, if you think about it, it's a pretty big feat to have a single player game that has a substantial community. Mm-hmm. It's like most communities are formed because of a need to have some sort of multiplayer interaction. But when you look at certain games over the years, everything Bethesda's ever made, everything id's ever made pretty much, everything Bungie, made, despite Halo's multiplayer component, that people are just huge for the single player. These are games that have communities that follow the single player, alone. And I think Ubisoft, didn't realize that's a thing. And they were just kind of like, well, this sold really well. So, who cares about the people telling us what they want to see with the next game? Let's just keep making more of them until we beat it into the ground like a dead zombified horse.
Yep.
That's been assassinated by someone.
And like you said, Bethesda's never done that. Todd Howard, I think, is very in touch with the community, the fact that people love Fallout. He clearly loves Fallout himself.
Oh no, no doubt.
So it's when he came on stage for the Bethesda thing, it was just he's like, let's go back to that feeling, because there's nothing better than sitting down and playing a good Fallout game. And I think everyone in the audience was just like, yes.
There was a holy beam of light on his head the whole time.
So yeah, like you said, they definitely haven't done anything to just to betray our trust. And I don't think Fallout 4 will.
And I think that really helps. It keeps the community healthy.
Yeah,
because we kind of all know exactly the quality we're going to get. So it's a very safe thing to all be excited for.
Yeah, Fallout 4 I think is the first game that I've had in quite some time now. That's this big of a deal where there's been no doubt in my mind. Now so many games come out, like you said, Assassin's Creed. I wasn't even thinking about Syndicate. If somebody was like, Tony, you gonna play Syndicate? I'm like, no. Why would you ask?
I can't even keep up with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's
dude, if you played this Assassin's Creed, I'm like, I didn't know that existed. How is coming out?
It literally becomes an insult. It becomes an insult to the consumer and to the people who do enjoy the game that, there are just that many, you just threw out that many, versions that you just kept making this game. I would be completely insulted if that was a franchise that I thoroughly loved. If 343 had taken over the helm, for Bungie for Halo, and then said, hey, let's make a Halo every year for the next 4 years instead of 2 Halos in 6 years, I would have been completely alienated as fan and been just like, what? Obviously you don't know, you don't understand things.
Completely forgot what I was going to say there.
Okay. So I wanted
this wacky looking bird flew past a window and it took my entire attention.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. The only other game that I've had that nervous excitement for was Skyrim. Man, when that came out.
Oh yeah.
Actually, in Australia, one gaming shop on the 10th. It was meant to be released on the 11th, and on the 10th, one shop was like, "Let's do it," and just released it on the 10th. And then every other gaming store to compete had to release it as well.
Oh god, they all got fined.
It got released.
They all got fined, man.
Oh,
That's crazy.
man. It's
You know, a
amazing.
funny story. It was like Skyrim for me was it was a hype game. Like I was like, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. Dan
Yeah.
Bull wrote the Skyrim rap, and I was just like, I am doing like, oh my god, yes, listening to the song every single day. And it was literally 3 days before the midnight release. It was like that Saturday or Sunday or whatever. And my one buddy calls me and he's like, dude, he's like, I was just at the Kmart over on French Road, man. He's like, they have Skyrim out right now. So it's like me and all my friends are like sitting there like talking about the release that day. We all pile in my car. We drive there blasting Dan Bull's Skyrim rap, just like screaming out the window, like, we're getting it early, like, yes. And we go there, we roll over into the electronics section. There's some ratty looking dude, just looked like he smoked like 6 joints. Literally, it crawls out of the back and he's like, let me get the keys. He like grabs it. He hands us all copies of this game, which you're not really supposed to do that at electronics stores. Just lets us walk up front. We go up front. We're cashing out. All of a sudden, the lady at the register goes to ring it out. She's like, it's like not ringing out. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
We're like,
man.
oh crap, dude, they're gonna find out. And sure enough, like her manager rolls over and she's like, these aren't even supposed to be sold yet. She like gets on the microphone, like starts screaming at the dude in electronics across the entire store. And she gives us the dirtiest look because she totally knew we knew exactly what we were doing. And I felt
So
really
you didn't
bad.
get them?
No.
Oh,
It was like a sigh of relief at the same time because it was like we like all had these crazy plans for midnight release. Like my buddy ended up bringing his television over to my house and we like all played for like 3 days straight at my house and I made like food for everybody. It was like, so the plans weren't spoiled, so it all kind of just felt better in the end. But
That's a good deal. I have a more depressing, sad story about it.
okay.
So I was attending trade school, or just before. No, it was just before attending trade school when Skyrim came out. So I had a very, very limited amount of time to play it before heading off, and I think I marathoned it as much as I possibly could. I think it was like 10, 15 hours, which is not that long in Skyrim.
So you're still in Helgen.
Might as well have been, yeah. So, yeah, and it was on my crappy machine, so I had to find different ways to get it to work properly. With I had a really craptastic video card at the time too. Don't have to worry about that now, but during that time it was
Did
just,
you guys? I take it you guys are going to be playing Fallout 4 on PC.
yes.
Did you guys?
will-
Did
The
you
only
have to
platform
upgrade?
I have.
Yeah, same, dude. The last console I got was the original 360.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
on that-
upgraded this year actually.
To what? To the Xbox One?
No, to my PC, to an Acer Predator.
All right.
So
I'm that dude
Yeah,
who drops
I-
his money on like everything, so I'm actually probably gonna be playing it on both because I have it on Xbox One, and there's good reason for this. Like I do play a lot of games on console, even though my PC is more than capable of running them like on whatever stupid high settings. But it's like I do like this game share thing with my brother basically, so he also can gain access to all the games that I download on Xbox for free. So it totally works out because it's like he's kind of like a broken writer right now and he just spends like 14 hours a day writing books and stuff. So it's like the few
cool.
times he has to like stumble out of his darkness and actually play games with me, he's not going to spend the money, so it works out that way. But
Sounds like me. I edit games for 14 hours a day.
yeah, right. So it's I don't know, it's a good I'm always that guy who's been like on both sides. Like I'm definitely not a PC master race dude, even though I have like a PC that I built like over the last 10 years and kept up and stuff.
just recently doubled my RAM too, which was nice. It was
What did
yesterday.
from 8 to 16?
Yeah.
Nice. I've bought a whole bunch of new stuff on my computer, but I'm still waiting on some parts. It's gonna be a mess, man. I went to change the graphics card yesterday. It took like,
I saw your post.
oh man. Yeah, dude, I bought a Kodo. It's a water cooling block for the graphics
a
card.
Komodo, and it wouldn't fit your card.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
I'm sorry.
All that series too. Yeah, I've sent them a complaint letter like it doesn't say it doesn't fit this series because it was built for the 980 GTX cards, and I have a 980 GTX G1, and it doesn't fit. I'm like, oh.
So it's frustrating.
Yeah.
That is,
Oh man.
that's PC
nightmare.
gaming. That is literally PC gaming.
There it
It's
is.
like we all talk about how amazing and great it is, but at the end of the day,
There is risks.
we're just a bunch of masochists is what we actually are. We love dealing with all of the BS that comes with owning a custom computer.
We like troubleshooting, or as I like to call it, shooting our troubles, possibly with an actual gun.
And
I
possibly
nearly
ourselves.
shoot myself with it. Yeah.
Possibly ourselves when we're all said and done. I mean, I think out of all the things in my life, right, like I've legitimately done like tons of work on automobiles, like housework, you know, built like entire things like from scratch, you know, and it's like PC gaming and fixing my computer has consumed more time than all of those things.
And modding.
Just, oh yeah, that's a whole other. That's the thing that leads to the PC problems. Oh,
Right.
you wanted to run that mod. Well, guess what? Now, for some reason, 2 of your RAM sticks aren't working anymore. Your memory sticks aren't working anymore.
Dude, yeah, I went to play Oblivion to make like an Oblivion Easter egg video. Dude, it's like, no, this doesn't work. Click open, it's just like, nope, just a big red X, like, don't even think about it, son. I'm like, just looking up. Like, having to go into like DLL files and like change numbers and stuff. It's just not, just stuff that you're like, I'm really not comfortable doing this.
Yeah, and this is like you don't want to break anything. Like that's the kind of territory we get into on a regular basis. It's like, I really hope it doesn't break anything. I really hope I remember that I changed this.
I think we all need to run out to those forests we were talking about before the PIPCAST and knock on as many trees as we possibly can. Because I'm pretty sure we just all jinxed ourselves severely with this conversation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
I'm prepared. Just raise your luck to 5 or 6. You'll be good.
Well, dude, because I took my computer apart yesterday. It's like we started this podcast at like 8 in the morning, right? Or 9, sorry. Here, anyway. I went to bed at like 4 trying to put my computer back together.
Oh, God, man.
It was
so
a
sorry.
nightmare. No, it's not your fault. The new graphics card, I don't know, something wrong with the drivers and it wouldn't pick up the second screen. And then like NVIDIA, just nightmare. Just pure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make sure after we're done recording this, Camel, that I go in my backyard. I think it's still daylight. Okay, no, it's dark out. I'm gonna light a fire. I'm gonna do a seance and just pray for you that everything goes all right come Tuesday. Because no one needs to deal with that.
Just sacrifice some children in my name. That'll be.
I live near like a smaller section of forest, and there's an overabundance of rabbits. No one would miss a couple rabbits.
Do it.
All right, so
I mean, they're good for you too. Community. Yeah.
Well, anyways, actually, what I did want to ask you guys, of course, those of you guys listening out there, is to share some of your crazy Bethesda release stories. It could be Fallout 3, it could be New Vegas, it could be Skyrim, it could have been going back to Morrowind. Was there any sort of midnight release that you had just some crazy story from? I feel like all of us have some sort of an.
I'd say stick to the fun and happy ones, not the sad one like mine.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah. I mean,
the ones you were really excited for or were really exciting. I like to hear those.
Yeah, like a bunch of dudes showed up and robbed a bunch of copies of the game and then gave you one for free. That's an awesome story. We totally would like to hear that one. So let's move on and talk about spoilers, right? Because, again, this is one of those things. Like, people have all these... I'm not saying that it's okay for people to spoil things, but I think people need to reevaluate how much time and the way that they spend time on the internet, because I don't literally know nothing about any of these spoilers. Like, what actually got leaked? Do you guys know?
Various screenshots, all of the achievements.
So a lot of the same stuff that pretty much gets leaked every time a game comes out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
this is nothing.
One of the things, though, like for me personally, because I'm part of a lot of different Fallout and Skyrim related communities, it is all over my feed. My feed.
I would just steer clear of those things before launch.
Pretty much,
there's going to be people there who, whether they're community members or people who are just showing up now just to spoil it for people, that they're going to be there for that.
And on Facebook, you can't really control what is going to show up on your feed unless you leave that group in particular.
That's true.
That's like not the thing you really want to do, but you might have to if you want to keep the game a surprise to yourself. So like. Yeah, there was a lot of announcements in said group of people just leaving because they're like, I don't want to see any more spoilers, and I'm leaving.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, that wouldn't really hurt. I mean, it's like you're gonna miss out on any important pieces of news. Bethesda isn't gonna show up and be like, hey, guess what? We're launching Fallout 4 early today. Go pick it up right now. Like, you're not gonna miss out on that. So I mean, that was one of the things I kind of had on here was how to avoid spoilers, and it's like, resist. Performing your regular internet habits, if that includes scrolling through feeds on some sort of Bethesda-related forum that is bound to have some sort of spoilers in it.
Yeah,
and that's really the best thing.
Reddit has been fairly well moderated. The Fallout Reddit, they've been blurring out spoiler type posts, quite
Oh,
well.
really? Wow.
Yeah, they've been like literally blurring out the title and everything, so that you have to hover your mouse over it to actually see the title, which is nice.
All right.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's like a mandatory thing on Reddit. Like, if you don't use the spoiler, you pretty much should be shot in the virtual leg or take an arrow to the knee virtually or something like that.
Yeah.
Something Bethesda related.
Yeah. But Facebook, on the other hand, just leave the groups if you don't want to get stuff spoiled, because you will. It will be
I kind
spoiled.
of forget that's like exactly the point of Facebook, is
Groups
to get
and fan
people
pages.
just like, just instant gratification of like refresh new post.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the point of the way it works. It's like, I'm not really a Facebook user myself, so I haven't really had to
I'd
deal with
say
that. But
I'm not a major Twitter guy, but Lone Vault Wanderer and Maddie have been on that too. They were just like, we're not gonna pay attention to Twitter the rest of the week. That's the point that they got to.
Yeah, I saw Lone just said he's not going on Twitter for a week until it comes out.
Yeah, because it's gotten that ridiculous, and I understand, like, people are really excited, but it's, you want to leave some surprise there. I mean, that's what I would want.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't understand. Like, if you are excited, you're saying, I'm really excited, so I want to spoil it for everyone else. I mean, who are you kidding? Like,
Right.
If you're really excited about the spoiled content, just open a page on your personal desktop and then don't ever click the share button anywhere. Like, it's okay to be excited. You don't have to, like, ruin it for everyone else.
Do you know the extent of the leaks? Like, the heaviest thing that was leaked? I think that, like, the whole story plot was leaked.
Well, that's basically the achievements if you read them.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. I mean, the only thing that I saw...
Because I read them and, like, didn't pay attention.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I know outside of that a lot of people have been concerning themselves with is apparently there's like one or two like completely random YouTubers. These weren't like copies that were given to them by Bethesda. Got like their game early. Whatever. Somebody missold it, because right now it is Wednesday, which means that if you work at a GameStop or a Game or something like that, I used to work there. They get their games a week early for big releases like this, and they're sitting in back right now. That doesn't mean go out and rob your local GameStop. I didn't say that.
Don't ever.
Tony, what have you done? There's gonna be like
I'm sure a lot of people know about this already, but yeah. So basically, there's a chance that somebody could come home with one, and some dude apparently did, and people are like, "Oh, he's gonna do an early Let's Play," and I'm like, "Here's the thing, right? If he gets a copy of this and he can do an early Let's Play, there's no one that can stop him from doing that. It's fairly simple. Don't watch his videos. No one's gonna shove them down your throat." But I think the other deeper discussion that people had with this was like, the idea as a whole of people getting early access to games like this. Like Halo did it. Halo had like people playing through the story like early. Metal Gear Solid had like exclusive Let's Plays with the story early. It's like, unless, I feel like it's so weird, because like if you really are excited about the game, why would you ever watch something like that,
Yeah.
Like, unless you were...
Is it called embargo? Is that what it's called, where like you're not allowed to release information about a game before?
Yeah.
That was the thing in all these situations, was they lifted the embargo for specific individuals to make content.
Right. Well, if someone got the game secretly from their game shop and they did a Let's Play, surely that would get flagged or taken down.
Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently, the embargo for Fallout goes up like 2 or 3 days before launch, so not really that big of a deal. Like, that's the weekend. Enjoy your weekend before you dedicate yourself to Fallout, and you won't have to worry about it. You won't have to worry about seeing a lot of that stuff.
And the thing too, the people that are oh man, I think I lost it. It's gone.
What?
Let me quickly say then, there's a lot of people who are like showing strong hatred towards several of these people who have early copies of the game. Let me break something down, right? If you're a YouTuber and you're trying to make money for a living, the opportunity to do a 2-day early Let's Play or any sort of thing for a game as popular as Fallout is a chance to grow your channel. That's like asking you not to go to your day job every day. Like, just don't go. Like, you don't need to make money. Don't go. So you can't hate that person for taking that opportunity. All you can do is, if you're a fan of the game, just, step away. Let the people who aren't actually going to play it, who are looking forward to a Let's Play because they can't afford it, they're not interested, they just want to see the game from a different perspective, let them enjoy it. Let that guy make some money, possibly some exposure. Maybe he's a YouTuber and he deserves it. Maybe his channel's great, whatever. There's no reason to just go around like having some just complete hatred for this dude.
There's going to be the ones that just don't really understand at all.
This is true.
How it works.
usually why I don't
how the YouTube
bother
machine works. So
talking about that stuff.
it's a noble thing that you're trying to do.
That's me. I don't know how it works.
I mean, I question it every day when I'm like, oh, they sent me this paycheck for 60 cents. Man, what did I do?
No, that's more of a what am I doing with my life kind of thing. But
why do I dedicate 60 hours a week to this?
What am I? Why? What?
Yeah, dude, that's what you got to do, man.
Love.
I did that all
That's what
last
it
year.
is.
I was like, oh,
Love, that's for sure.
Takes time.
So yeah, I think that's everything spoiler related. Like you said, there really isn't that much stuff. I think it was just one of those instances where the small amount of stuff that was there was like a lot of people, like you said, trying to shove it down other people's throats. And in a game like this, achievements do actually reveal quite a bit. So it's like,
like their achievements related to like progression in the main story.
yeah, completing a story. It's like usually achievements are brief, but yeah, I mean, if you just want to avoid any sort of spoilers.
Well, I remember a lot of the Fallout 3 trophies and achievements. Trophies and achievements. There were no achievements for the PC because Windows Live.
Yeah, Steam was achievements, wasn't? Yeah, it was Windows Live back then.
But I remember them when I first played it on the PlayStation 3, and it was like they were pretty darn blatant on what what was involved with getting that achievement, and I was like, well, from past experience, I don't want to see them.
I guess I've just never been like, I don't ever remember being a huge achievement guy, even as someone who's like owned an Xbox their entire life. So it totally like, it just never, it's one of those situations where it's like, I'm trying to right now tell people like how and why they should avoid spoilers. But meanwhile, I'm just like, I can't understand how or why people ever even get exposed to them. But, like, I guess the Facebook thing, like you said, is one big thing. Outside of that, it's just like self-restraint. Don't click the Fallout link. No matter how much hype is running through your veins, it will not be worth it for you in the end.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for someone on the Fanatics page because I haven't left it yet. I'm going to eventually, but I haven't left it yet. I'm just waiting for somebody to make. I'm just waiting for somebody to make just like a slideshow in video format so it auto plays on the stupid Facebook feed.
I would say, I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're really someone just looking to get like the next high, stay subscribed to those, and then constantly refresh those pages, and just find out when it finally happens. It's like Russian roulette. Like, when are you going to get that video that you click on that just is like 5 minutes of the entire game in fast forward? Just ruin it all for yourself.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal.
I think the plot, it's going to be so much. I think it's going to be so much more involved, like emotionally, because there's the voice acting, especially for your character.
Yeah, very much so.
Previously, I don't know, you don't get super attached to the storyline.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult, I think, to pull off. Like, some games can pull off the no voice character and make you feel like you are that character. Like Legend of Zelda always did that very well throughout the franchise, but I agree that Fallout never did that well. Like Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I just always felt like I was controlling kind of like this, like deep down the real background story between Fallout 3 and New Vegas is that you're an android and you can't talk.
Conduit of doing favors for others.
Well, dude, when I played The Witcher 3, it was the first time I really had that, like, your character has a voice and you like get decisions on what they say. And dude, some of the things that happen,
they
you
nailed
really
it,
just go, oh, my soul just got crushed.
It's the same with MGS5 also.
That was the first time ever in a game where I had like that emotional connection and effect.
It's just like, I am Big Boss.
Right? It's like you felt like you were Geralt, like you take on his personality, you understand his mindset, and then you make decisions based off that, and you sort of mold his character, as if you were a part of him.
But like, a model that Todd Howard, I think it was Todd Howard that mentioned it, was Mass Effect, and how amazing their character relations are in the Mass Effect series. So like it seemed like that's some of the inspirations they were drawing for Fallout 4.
I think that's
which is
like, I think that
Mass Effect is an excellent example.
Yeah, it's definitely I think it's the
pulling
bar.
out dialogue properly.
Like that is like if you are going to do any sort of dialogue theme stuff like that, like you look to Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Because to me, it still has done it better than any other game. Like I can't remember like the last time I played a game that I was so incredibly emotionally involved.
Deus
in.
Ex
Like,
Human Revolution also.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. It
the
was
dialogue
like,
events with the
I think the dialogue was well, but I enjoyed Deus Ex a lot, but I just never felt like I was like it got there towards the end of the game for me. Like I finally felt like okay, I'm a big part of what's going on, but it's too bad the ending just completely killed that for me.
Right.
It's a very terrible ending. But for me, it was like Mass Effect. Like I didn't have that big uproar with like 3, like everyone did, because to me it was like no, I'm like so emotionally involved with these characters. Like I'm into this, and I understand what happened at the end. Everyone died.
Yes.
Like it's as simple as that. Everyone died and everything was reverted and we had to rediscover space travel. And to me that was like the most utterly fantastic ending to a game ever.
Wow.
Sadly,
And for anybody who hasn't experienced the ending, I want to say this for Mass Effect 3, do not shoot the catalyst because everybody dies and you get the worst possible ending.
yeah, I mean,
Speaking of spoilers,
you're right. It's your fault. It's past the time frame. There's certain rules and laws.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got about 4 years. You messed up, man.
Well, they have to get to the
breath.
they have to get to the end to find out what the catalyst actually is. So
We kept our breath for 8 episodes of the PIPCAST about how the end of Mass Effect 3 ended. So your time's up.
nobody knows what the catalyst is. That's a thing. Not until the end. So I didn't spoil a thing.
So-
Just don't shoot it.
So have you guys been playing any other games in the lead up to Fallout 4?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it I think has been kind of whatever like the shift is for my channel. Like, you know, okay, what am I going to cover for a while next? You know, Halo 5 was big. That, of course, you know, was what dropped on Monday at midnight. I've been playing that like obsessively, like the multiplayer especially as well, and thoroughly enjoying that. I mean, the campaign itself was like, I think it was the difficulty I was looking for. Like, I play it usually 2-player co-op with my brother. On like Legendary, and we always played through it, and it took us like 9 hours. Like it felt excessively challenging, is what it actually felt like.
Angry Joe.
What?
Angry Joe
did Angry
tore
Joe
it apart today.
Really? I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't usually. I like his stuff, but I just can't sit through like a 40-minute review.
Yeah,
like, of
it's
anything.
it's 39 minutes long, and he stays on the requisitions mechanic for a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I don't know, that mechanic, it's like I didn't really so much have a reason to tear that apart. I'm actually going to do a discussion about that soon, but to me it's just an unnecessary mechanic for the sake of adding in microtransactions. But I know he's like so anti microtransactions, but the simple fact is games cost money to make, and if it means that we get free DLC maps and things like that moving forward in the future, I'm okay with allowing some other dude out there who wants to spend money on microtransactions doing that, because it doesn't actually affect the game. I'm not going to do it, but you feel free. It means free DLC for me, so thanks a lot, you know. I don't know. It's just kind of like, you know, the smart people of the world do smart things, they make smart stuff, and they make sure that all the dumb people get to continue to breathe and live after, you know, the sun blows up and things like that. It's the same thing with free DLC for games.
Awesome.
Did you guys play the other Halos? I assume you did.
I mean, I've been playing Halo since
Halo 1 and 2.
Yeah, I played Halo 1 normally, and then Halo 2. I've got a younger brother, and our neighbors was 2 brothers, so we used to play 2v2 on Halo 2 for like a year straight every weekend.
I haven't had access to an Xbox since several years ago. So.
Oh yeah, dude, this is when like Halo 2 was the most recent Halo.
Yeah, it was the best thing ever. I mean, that's what we threw. We would throw huge LAN parties at my buddy's house like every single weekend. We had legitimately, I had my Ethernet thing with all the cables set up, and it would be like stretched so far across the room, it was just like held in the air by the cables being so tight. And it would just be a constant thing every time someone went up to go to the bathroom and get a drink. We're like, don't trip, don't cut the power cable. If you trip that, you're dead, man. Because we would play like we'd play like SWAT pistols only to like 500 kills and stuff. Like just stupid, like stupid things just to see who could last the longest and stuff. But there's a lot of good memories.
It's like playing Monopoly with guns.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like who's gonna last, you know? After a while, it was like eventually someone would have that point where they would take the lead. And admittedly, it was like my friends were kind of crap at Halo, so it was like me and my brother just dueling it out at the top, and everybody else would be like, "All right, we're leaving. Like, I'm done with this. You guys are like 600 kills out of this." Just be like, but I don't know. There's something fun about it. It's probably also because you're like 13 years old and nothing else really matters in life at that point in time.
Yeah, that's true.
So you want to do the announcement thing? I feel like you probably should. I feel like it should have been at the beginning, actually. But
yeah, I was thinking about doing the beginning, but I was like, yeah, I guess either way, people will hopefully be aware of it. I'm going to put it down in the comment section.
Yeah, put an annotation in there, too.
people will be
to
aware
jump
of it.
to this
So
part.
basically, what we wanted to ask you guys moving forward in the future, and like I said, I'll have like a big I'll have a nice little post out, not a big post. It'll be short enough that you can read it in a couple seconds. It won't be TLDR. We want you guys to go ahead and start submitting topics to us for discussion for the PIPCAST. Obviously, we always kind of choose the meaty ones, but there's no reason that we couldn't take on some viewer suggestions moving into the future, especially with the launch of Fallout 4. I imagine you guys are going to have lots of things that you want us to talk about. And if we can kind of get a gauge as to what is most important to you guys watching, then we can focus on doing those first and kind of, setting everything else down the line.
And perhaps doing guides on said conversation topics as well.
Yeah, that as well. It kind of all will mingle into everything else that Cato and I do Fallout related, or that, even just Cato does, or, one of us is doing, whatever. It's just a great place to give us feedback is here in the PIPCAST. Now, outside of that, we haven't really 100% on this, but I would say expect a delay for episode 9 of the PIPCAST. I think that Cato and I would both like to record it after the launch of Fallout 4, so we can make the next episode very much a big Fallout 4 sort of blowout thing.
During recording this episode, week and a half, guys, week and a half. And then when this goes up, it's a week away,
Yeah. It won't be bad. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy how close it is. So yeah,
what the hell happened there?
later that day. Later that day later that week it'll probably go up. We probably won't record it like we normally do on a Monday and then throw it up on Wednesday. So you guys will probably see it later in the week after him and I both spend some time with the game, and we can kind of set up a recording date on that. But it will happen that week. We'll make sure that we work it out so it happens that week, one way or the other.
Yeah, Thursday or Friday.
Just expect it to be a little bit delayed. I imagine you guys won't even care that it's not there because you'll be way too busy playing Fallout 4 yourself. So it's never gonna work out.
Or watching other people play Fallout 4.
Or watching other people. That's true. We're hunting down some absurd piece of armor / weapon that exists in the game that everyone's freaking out about.
Oh yes.
Do you guys reckon there's going to be a lot of unique stuff?
I feel like there's going to be. I feel like they might put their special spin on it. I think Maddie and I talked about it a little bit. There's going to be unique weapons and maybe also unique parts for weapons.
So you can craft a one-off item kind of thing?
So you can maybe break down 2 different unique weapons to combine into one.
All right.
Kind of thing, which would be pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle that whole thing. I think unique weapons, like we talked about this last week, they're just extremely important for sure, I think, to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. That was the only fear I had really was that the insane crafting system would overshadow unique stuff.
I don't think it's going to, no, because well, look at Skyrim's crafting system. You could still make some pretty amazing stuff, especially later on in the game, but you would have access to uniques as well throughout the game. So
yeah, that's very much. I mean, those elements I think are what make a Bethesda game a Bethesda game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
the fact that you can just wander off and do a mission for 2 hours just to get a shield, just to get a pair of boots or something that are really special. It's that's a big thing. Because when I think of games having unique tools like that are so key to a certain gameplay element, honestly, the only other games I think of do that are very specific RPGs, like Zelda. Getting the masks or getting the hook shot or whatever, and it's you have all those different elements and components from that game, but it's it's in Fallout, and it's in Elder Scrolls. It's a big open world idea. That's gonna be exciting, that's for sure.
It is. It is gonna be exciting.
They haven't shown any of that stuff.
1 week,
like at all.
1 week.
What were we gonna say, Keto? Oh yes.
1 week. Oh, let's see. It's
just reminding you guys in case you forgot.
So it's going to be releasing. They are doing a midnight launch for if you guys are getting it digitally. I'm pretty sure it's midnight everywhere. It's midnight on the Xbox One anyway. So that's it would be this time next week.
And Camel gets it early because he's in Australia.
I'd be 4 hours away. That's right.
I've got it on Steam though. I don't know if it's. I think on Steam it's released globally at the same time.
Oh really?
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what I heard. But I know if you buy it on disc on say Xbox One, you can go to the shop and get it.
Yeah, because Lone was saying how he was getting it 6 to 8 hours earlier than everybody else, and I was like, you're a jerk.
But don't forget the day of release I have to drive to the hospital. So
oh yeah, that's
you would be not playing that whole day.
That's a bummer.
We'll play for you. We'll play lots for you.
Yeah, we'll let you know how it is. We won't spoil anything though. I promise.
Okay. I'm just you won't hear from me for like a month. That's
right.
Just gonna go into a shell.
So I think at this point it's like, in terms of like, if we were to ask the audience, like what are you playing to hold over to the launch of Fallout 4? I think the hype is set into the point now where it's almost like a stasis, and you're not concerned with any other games. You're not concerned with like anything. You're just like, how many hours of work do I have left? And then how many hours of sleep do I have? And how can I make all of those things go by very quickly to make it, next week, Monday at midnight?
Drink a lot? No, don't drink a lot. Don't do that.
I would actually suggest, if you really just have a ton of free time and you don't really do much else, is to go on Netflix and just start watching all the Star Treks, because they're all on there now, and Star Trek's awesome.
Honestly,
they also announced a new Star Trek television show is going to be coming out. So
really,
now that we've gone completely off of topic, there's going to be this one dude in the comment section below who absolutely hates us for this, because he was like,
"This is our cooldown time from the week. Like this is what the podcast is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to any of you who are like,
I feel like there's a good ratio.
Darn it, Kato and Tony, stop talking like normal people. We demand Fallout all the time. You know what? We're still people.
Ratio of Fallout to everything else in this podcast. So I feel like we're good.
Yeah.
I feel like we're good, and that is very much time to call it an end. If you guys have any questions, or if you'd like to check out any of the links to any of the topics of discussion that we've discussed in this week's episode, as usual, go ahead and click them down in the description below. They will all be linked there for you guys, as well as some of the other announcement stuff that I'm going to post directly in the comments. Don't forget to tell us some of your awesome Bethesda launch day stories. Remember, the good ones, the sad ones should remain distant memories for all of us. Move forward with the future.
Or just blocked out. You can do that too.
Just block it out. And of course, if you guys have anything Fallout related to talk to us about down in the comment section below, or anything else, we're always looking forward to reading that and discussing it. I want to give a huge thanks to Camel from Camelworks coming on over. It's just like two awesome people in a row I've gotten to meet. First, Mr. Maddie, now you. Apparently Fallout YouTubers, Bethesda YouTubers are just all around awesome people. So thanks a lot for coming on, Camel.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
Go see his stuff.
Awesome. Yes, go click his stuff. Also, a link and an annotation for that. Go click all of his stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you just need to know every single tiny detail about every single thing that exists inside of Fallout, you should go watch his videos. And I think, honestly, probably only like maybe 10 or 15 of your videos could probably hold them over to the launch of Fallout, because they're like super lengthy in detail. So, those are like...
some of them are pretty beefy, man.
And they're full of great puns.
Yeah. They might make you angry. Some people get really angry at the puns. It's incredible.
Hey, you gotta have some pun once in a while.
All right. This is 100% been the most casual episode of PIPCAST ever, and I absolutely love it for that. We will see you guys next week. Please don't fall into stasis. Don't forget about your family. It's okay to be excited for Fallout, but just try and be responsible about it, and we will see you guys in the next one.
See ya. Goodbye. Have you been holding off that cough the entire
thing? I can hear you like in the background like a couple times, just like...